You guys, already?
Yes.
I know if you're recording, Eric. You're all set. Okay. Then, okay, it's 6:30. Time to call this regular select board meeting to order. Tuesday, November 18th. Additions and deletions to the agenda. Do I have any additions or deletions?
Just an announcement at the end.
There are the business. Okay. Hearing no other changes, we'll go move into public comment. This is for any public comment that's not already on this evening's agenda. So is anybody who has a public comment? Hearing none. We'll move on to the consent agenda. The consent agenda this evening is the minutes from the November 4th meeting and the warrants. Does anybody have any, there'd be a motion in order
So moved.
in a second.
Second.
Does anybody have anything to discuss?
Nope.
What is,
Good minutes.
vehicle winter mix from all states? Calcium chloride. For fuel, for burn. Put their own code on there. Might not, maybe I'm meeting. So it went to vehicle fuel. Yeah, I probably put them, okay, I was like, man, I'm trying to think of what they would sell to go into the fuel. Okay. I think I had anything else on there. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor of the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstained. Motion carries. Next. We'll move on to the equity committee. Wendy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Wendy Campbell. I'm acting as the chair of the Cambridge Equity Committee. And we're here to share some appointments, recommended appointments today. 3 people are with me today. There's a fourth who you all probably know pretty well. So just giving you an opportunity to get to meet some new potential members for the Equity Committee and hear a little bit about them and let them speak for themselves, but we've got Danielle, Marilyn and Betsy here with you today. Members of the community, active in like nonprofit healthcare, like careers in education, strong interest in DEI and continuing to move, equity and belonging work forward for the town in partnership with the select board. And then also Justin Marsh, who longtime, community member, obviously, and volunteers on several committees, or has led several committees in town. He got the okay to not be in person today, but we're also putting him forward for official appointment for the committee. So with that being said, I thought maybe if you would all like to just hear a little bit from folks. who
Absolutely.
Step in and then see what questions.
Yeah, and probably, I'm terrible at doing this, so I might as well start like introducing ourselves, because
Sure.
I'm awful at that, but I'm Cody Mark, chair of the select board.
Sheila Hall.
Peter Engelstad,
Angela Pratt.
Dan St. Cyr.
And I don't know if you know Eric Buzan, our town administrator, Donna Warren, their town clerk, and this is Donna, the other Donna. They're minutes.
So I'm Betsy Goodman. I lived in the Cambridge Jeff community, I think for about 40 years. I've worked in education, both teaching scheme with Peter Engelstad at Smugs, but also as a teacher and administrator at Eden Central School. And I have come to love this community where I live now and really want anyone who lives here to feel welcomed and supported in various ways based on their needs. So that's kind of the intent on being part of this committee.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're still a teacher at Eden?
I'm not still a teacher at Eden. I retired from that position. I'm currently doing a long-term sub teaching job in the Spanish immersion program at Jericho Elementary School.
She wasn't a teacher at the end, she was the principal.
How long have you been in Jericho?
Just about 4 weeks.
Oh, you just started that
Yeah, I'm
position?
doing someone's maternity leave.
Oh, Cynthia?
No, someone else.
You remember Morgan and Kendra Wood?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, my two nieces.
Yes,
They moved on to the big school now.
yeah, yes.
Okay, any other questions for Betsy? Who's next?
I'll go. Marilyn Zilfar. I've been in Cambridge only like 2.5 years or so. So I lived in Hyde Park for most of my life, few years not, and was also a teacher and administrator in the public school for quite a while. And I do real estate now, was on my bucket list. In Hyde Park, I was a justice of the peace, and I've been a hospice volunteer for over 10 years. And it's just very important to me to be part of the community. So it's been a challenge, but I'm determined to be part of this committee after being very involved in Hyde Park. So I want to, I believe in the community, and I do believe that equity strengthens the community and each one of us. It's an important part of this for me.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
How do you spell your last name?
Zeal, P-H-A-R.
Perfect.
I had ER, I messed up.
Any
I
other?
get graded by the teachers now.
Oh, look at Any other questions for Marilyn?
What made you move here?
I had a big old farmhouse, 4 bedrooms, an apartment, and I put in so many gardens. And the children were gone, the grandchildren were on their own now, and it was too big.
Mm.
So I have a daughter that lives in Morrisville, a daughter lives in St. Albans, and I kind of looked everywhere, but 3 years ago, it was hard to find anything. And I found this acre in Cambridge that I love, and so built a little 24 by 24 cabin. So,
Very nice.
yeah, yeah.
And you split the difference between the kids.
Exactly. It works well.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you very
well,
much.
yeah, glad you're here.
Thank you.
And last but not least,
I'm Danielle DeLongis, DeLongis. I've lived in Cambridge for 30 years. And my first 17, I was your school social worker. And I recommend to everybody, do not live and work in the same community as a social worker. It's hard to really become part of your community that way because you know too many things and you can't really have a conversation. I work at the medical center now, in some leadership roles and doing some education in the medical school with the family med residents. But I've always, wherever I've worked, I've always been part of an equity committee, always, part of, had various names depending on where you work, but as a social worker, social justice and making sure that there's equity and fairness throughout policies and government, wherever that may be, just really resonates with me. It's something I really work for. So that's who I am.
Thank you.
any other questions? You said Danielle, right?
Danielle.
Any questions for Danielle?
Looks like you got a great team.
It's a rebuilding year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited for us to continue to move some work forward.
Yeah.
We've got a couple things to plan to sort of build on the trainings that we did, and we realized needing to really sort of deepen our own bench with creating materials for things that would be sustainable regardless of who sat in the chair or on the equity committee, but something versus just delivering once in a community, sort of staffing ourselves up to be able to deliver content and conversation. And really sort of one of the things we learned was about like not just expecting people to show up in places and have conversations, but creating opportunities and building relationships. And really, one of the ideas we have is like continuing to work with a consultant. We still have some grant funds to develop some content that like the town of Cambridge would actually own and be able to use. And then meeting with other committee members at their time or other committees and getting to start some of those conversations in that work. But Angela, I have a lot of ideas to fill you in on. But we are
Can't
really
wait.
focused on rebuilding and getting the team approved. So we've got voting members and we can continue to move that work forward. So thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, no problem. I had Todd, Lucy, and Jen Bartlow were, right, the three that had,
They have left. Jen Smithers is still with us.
okay.
And so it would be adding these three plus Justin.
So it is a 5-member committee.
It's a 5-member voting committee. So,
Somebody, I gotta look at this.
so I did want to ask you, and apologies for not sending that in advance. I wanted to ask you for the ability to like, you know, I mean, we post our meetings, open meetings, anyone's allowed to attend. So if it comes down to having select, if someone doesn't have voting power, I'm happy to have that conversation, or also just serve as chair and let the 5 be the voting members and I act as more of a steward and guide. I think that's reasonable.
I'm just trying.
Question, challenge.
The rest of
That's
it.
how the chair works anyway. But you're still counted as a member.
Mhm. But I'm curious, can it be counted as a member if I abstain, like from voting and give that to the 5 members?
So the way it's, the resolution, I mean, we can always change the resolution. That's not an issue. The more the issue is having 6 as an even number that if you ever come to a vote on something, you could end 3-3, but
Maybe we could pull in our liaison. if that was the case.
so I mean, we could update it. The thing would be then trying to find a 7th person really would be the ideal way, or appointing a non-voting or I guess it would be a non-voting member, I guess. I think that's what we did we did that at the town meeting modernization committee. We had I don't have it in here, but I'm pretty sure we had a non-voting member. We had a 6th person that was very interested, but couldn't guarantee they could attend all the time, so we're like, well, the meetings are free to attend, you can provide your input as needed, and so we could do it a couple different ways. Cause I kind of leave it up to you guys as far as what you would rather do.
I am. I don't care.